Hello, my name is Mona Tenjo and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Work on Your Business. And we help business owners to work strategically on their business and grow their business to the next level. Today I would like to share some few words with you about preparation. Now that is a word that I see many of my clients don't use. So it is really surprising sometimes to see how when you do sports, when you exercise, right, you train for a marathon. You train, right? You don't just show up on the day when the marathon takes place and you just run, right? Because you know you won't be able to do it because it's a marathon. You have to train for that. You know, you have to go to different distances and have to really train your ground speed to really make sure that you are going to have a chance and that you even finish it, right? You cannot just run 42 kilometers just like that. So therefore, you have to train, you have to prepare yourself. However, when it comes to business, many entrepreneurs never prepare. You go to an important meeting, you just show up. You go into a negotiation, you haven't really prepared any scenarios. You go to a bank meeting, they invited you, well, let's see what they have to say. That's the wrong approach. And it is actually setting you up for failure, because what you should be doing is you should be prepared for every meeting, for every important communication. You have to be prepared. That means you have to think about what's the goal, what do I want to achieve, what do I think the others want to achieve. That's a negotiation situation, right? What do the others want to achieve? Who's with me in the room? What was my previous interactions with them like? You know, do we have a history we can build on? Is it a totally new person? Do I have to build rapport first of all before we can even go into the topics? Which backgrounds do they have? Which culture do they have? That all plays into a preparation. The better you prepare a meeting, the more successful it will be. When I was working in pre-sales many years ago, I was declining sales meetings because there was no preparation. The colleagues were just giving it to me and say like, hey, do a presentation. When I ask, what's the goal? What have they already seen until this point? You know, who will be in the room? Which type of people? Will this be IT people? Will this be purchasing people? Will this be other people? You know, like whom am I presenting to? Because if I have purchasing people in the room and then I'm doing an IT presentation, they don't care. They don't even understand what I'm talking about. However, if I have an IT person, I only show the interface and say like how awesome the system is. And then I have no slides on, you know, what's the technological background. That would be a problem for IT again. So you have to know who's sitting in your audience. Are you talking to end users who want to see how it works? Are you talking to management who wants to see what the reporting looks like and how they can use that tool to manage their people? All these things play into a preparation and set you up for success or for failure. So if you don't prepare, who will be in that meeting? What will happen? You know, what different scenarios? Like, are they positive to us? Are they negative towards us? Did they already have something like this in place? Did they already try it? Did it fail? Why did it fail? What can we tell them so that they have more confidence that we will be the right ones for them, right? What is important to the counterpart? What do they look for? Do they want to have hands on the development? Do they want to just be guided? You know, like what do they want? And the more you know upfront what they want, the better you can manage the meeting. Because if you know you have a customer who likes guidance, then you can prepare strategic proposals that normally you wouldn't put into a presentation like this. But if you know you have a customer who appreciates that, you can just put one or two little thoughts in there. Just give them some nuggets and they will be like, yeah, that's right. That's the type of person we need. That's the type of person we're looking for, right? But if you don't know such things upfront, if you haven't clarified that, you run into a meeting just like everybody else, and you will deliver just like everybody else a standard presentation. And that's exactly what will not get you forward. And the same is true for a negotiation. The same is true for a personnel meeting. If you have a difficult conversation with an employee, right? If you need to correct behavior, that's the same scenario. Now you may say, yeah, this is only for sales. No, it's not. If you have an important communication with an internal employee, you have to correct behavior. What do? You don't just go in there and say you have to fix it. That doesn't help you in any way, right? You have to go in and you have to say, okay, look, I really like those parts of your work, but that means you have to look at the work of that person, right? So you have to look at, okay, what are they doing? What are they doing well? What are they not doing so well, right? How can we correct that? Give them some options, say what you want, but also listen to, okay, maybe they have a situation at home and you are not aware of that, right? You have to consider such aspects, especially in times like right now in COVID, right? Things are very different. So maybe somebody who was a top producer before COVID suddenly is not producing anymore. Maybe they have a little child at home, right? And that child is not letting them work productively. That can happen. So you have to consider such things. But in order to make a great meeting, you have to prepare that accordingly. If you go to a bank, and the bank pretty much wants to have a conversation with you, I would want to know upfront what they want to discuss with me. Is it just a nice, like client relationship meeting? Is it a meeting like, hey, you haven't paid some invoices and we are going to quit your credit line? Like, what exactly is that conversation going to be about? I would never, ever, ever go into a meeting without knowing what will happen there. That's a very dangerous scenario. I want to know upfront, what is this about? Who's going to be involved? What do we need to bring along? Has there been any situation I have to be aware of before going into that meeting? That I have to really know, like, what is the different scenarios? What have they requested? What specifically was their wording? Like, do we have any insights? Can we still follow up with somebody before the meeting, etc.? That's preparation. If you do that, just like a marathon walker who's training regularly, you are almost guaranteed to succeed because you're prepared. If you trained like, I don't know, half a year, 1 year, I don't know how long you train for marathon, right? But if you train regularly and you've run the distance, you know that you will finish unless something really super crazy happens, right? But you can finish because you've done it before. But if you've never done it before, well, how do you want to succeed? So therefore, you need to prepare. You need to think through all the scenarios and make sure that you are set up for everything that could come your way. And then you have nothing to be afraid of. That was it for this week. Preparation is everything. If you like this video, please like it, please share it, subscribe to us so that you don't miss any new videos. And we are looking forward to seeing you back very soon on this channel. Thank you very much for joining us today. Bye-bye.